Hello again, everybody. This is Intuitive Air by Be a Messenger LLC. I hope you are ready for more messages today. I am using the Light Seers Tarot deck, and we're going to look at the messages I have for you. As I was pulling the cards out, I was actually already getting a message, and I got a song as I was shuffling. It's a song by Gladys Knight and the Pips, so it's an older song. But I keep hearing neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Okay, so that may mean something for you. It may have some meaning during our reading today, though I'm not seeing that yet, but it may come up later. But Gladys Knight and the Pips, about being neither one of you wanting to be the first to say goodbye. Okay. All right, so the cards I've gotten out. So the whole top row here, you guys know by now that I usually use 6 cards, a 6-card spread, unless I'm doing like a pick a card reading or I'm led to do something different. But most times it's a 6-card spread. On the top of the spread is the 8 of Pentacles, and there's also the Empress, who looks pregnant here with all these possibilities I'm getting, and also too, the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess, this is some high vibrational energy here on the table, and that was just the first 3 cards. All right, now what I'm getting from those 3 cards in particular is that whoever the Empress is, and I hope that's you, because you'd want to be an Empress, whether you're a man or a woman, you'd want to be an Empress or an Emperor. But this is some powerful energy. This, and even more powerful, is the High Priestess, and they're right next to each other. So what that tells me is that you or someone around you is a very high vibrational being. Okay, and that it tells me too, with this card up there as well, that you've worked a lot on yourself to get to being the Empress. Okay, and to get to being a High Priestess, you have worked very hard on yourself. And for some of you, since there's some coins over the top of here, what that makes me think about is that some of you have spent a lot of money working on yourself. Okay, and that could be for professional services, like therapy. It could be beauty treatments. It could also be going to school. That's what I'm getting as well. So many of you may have some an advanced degree or some advanced degrees where you have really worked on yourself and getting yourself to being this high vibrational being, the Empress and the High Priestess. And in addition to working on yourself, this has brought you in better connection with the spiritual world. Okay, you are someone who can channel ideas, and what you can also do is receive messages. You may not necessarily know that you're doing this because it may come just very naturally to you, but you're someone who has spent a lot of time and effort on becoming the Empress. And what it's telling me too is this has been a linear journey. So as you worked on yourself to become the Empress, after becoming the Empress, that's when you noticed those skills came in for you, those abilities of being a High Priestess. Okay, but you're definitely somebody who has worked a lot on yourself. All right, now the bottom of the spread is a little trickier. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Swords, which is great energy about new beginnings. All right, and also too, there's this 9 of Swords, and this gives me it makes me feel a lot of sadness when I look at this card, because she seems very sad, and it's like the things that she thinks about. See all these birds, all that air energy up above? These are the things that she thinks about that make her feel incredibly sad. And what I'm also hearing here too, regretful. Okay, and I also see here on the bottom here, this 5 of Cups. And when I look at this card, what it's letting me know is that something that you expected to go well didn't. Okay, so this is this is feeling like a relationship read or a love reading. And I say love reading because as I look at the bottom of the deck, there is a King of Cups, and right behind the King of Cups is actually an Ace of Pentacles. So what that tells me is all this work that you've done on yourself, where you feel like you're probably the total package out there, as you look for a relationship, because this feels like a single person reading. The things that weigh you down are the things you're regretful about. And the things that you're regretful about are the things that didn't work out. All right. But know that but it seems here like you're ready for a new beginning. And the new beginning is coming to you now because you've worked on yourself, because you have worked on becoming the Empress. And that's for some people a lifetime journey to become the Empress. But with the Empress, what this tells me too is because she looks pregnant here, and she's got like the world in her belly. I think you've gotten to a point and worked on yourself to the point that you have a lot of opportunities in this world. You're high vibrational, and you're at the point where you want somebody to share that with, okay? Because you're ready for new beginnings, even though you're somewhat still haunted by your thoughts of some past things that didn't work out. But when I look at the bottom of this, you have got the King of Cups here, okay? And with this King of Cups, this person, you see how that person seems to be looking into the bowl? This has been someone who has been searching for a particular person who has particular qualities, okay? Because, if there were a bunch of bowls around him, I'd say, well, he's working his options. He doesn't know what he wants. But this one, he's focusing on the one bowl. Okay, so that lets me know that he is looking for love in a lot of places. And this boat that's behind him, for me, I see the boat as coming into shore, not going away from it. Okay, so, and see here, that star here? This person that you may meet soon is someone who's looking for someone with star qualities, okay? And how can you be more of a star than these two together, okay? This is some high vibrational energy. You are someone who has worked on yourself so much that you don't mess around and you don't doubt yourself. You know who you are, you know how hard you've worked, and you know that you're a catch. You are a real catch if somebody wants to be serious out here in these streets. And it looks like you're going to meet somebody who's going to recognize that about you. And this is somebody too who is ready for love just as you are. Okay? And this Ace of Pentacles, right behind it, this lets me know that the two of you are powerhouses separately. The two of you manage money well or are very successful materially, okay? But you see there's two hands under it. This is when the two of you, this is a hand from each of you. That's the way I'm seeing it, a hand from each of you. And you're going to come together and be even more prosperous materially and spiritually than you were before. Because how can you get more spiritual than the High Priestess? Really? All right. And this High Priestess is also an Empress. This King of Cups, he's not an Emperor yet, but this gives me the feeling that he's getting there. And what he needs is an Empress for him to give his best and for him to continue to develop on his own spiritual journey. Okay? So I get the feeling that this King of Cups has the potential to become an emperor once he meets the Empress. Okay? And definitely switch the genders if you feel like that's what's best for you. But this gives me the feel that this is a very high vibrational woman who is meeting a man and the genders are fluid here, who's meeting someone who is ready to commit. That's the word I'm getting. Who's ready to commit. Okay? And he's looking for someone with some star qualities, because I see the star in there. But I get the impression just from this one card too, that this person that you're going to meet, whether they be male or female or non-binary, this person needs a higher vibrational partner in order to bring him out of, in order to bring out in him what he has not yet discovered. Okay, so his key to being a better version of himself is meeting someone who is the best version of their self, to encourage him to do more, be better, even though he's good now. I mean, he's a king at least, but that's not an emperor, okay? And that's not a high priest. So as he matches with an empress who is also a high priestess, he's gonna be so much of a better version of himself than he ever dreamed of, okay? So this is someone who's ready to grow, okay? This is someone who's ready to grow, and he's got a higher vibrational partner that he's looking for. This is, you know, why he's focusing on the one bowl is because he's looking for someone who's in particular able to help him. Now, you know, in the background of this empress, who's also a high priestess, as I mentioned earlier, are these worries and these disappointments that have happened. And, you know, everybody's had disappointments, relationships that didn't work out that you thought would, things that were hurtful in the process. But these types of things are on our journey to help us, as I hear from others, fix your picker, okay? Help you better choose the persons that you share your energy with. But you're ready here for a new beginning despite the disappointments of the past. And considering that you've really worked on yourself and gotten to the point where you're an empress and a high priestess, you know, for you, the money's just flowing right now, okay? It's just really flowing right now. But the two of you are, I think, going to be, I hear power couple, okay? I hear power couple. Because although this person is a king, this is where they're gonna start by being associated with the empress and the high priestess. This person is going to improve. It's gonna bring their vibration up. And this person is not necessarily gonna know what hit them, okay? Now, what I also see here is really just, I want to talk about this one again. I want to talk about all this air energy with the Nine of Swords and the disappointment that's here. Don't let your disappointment, if you are this high priestess, empress, it's okay at times. We all think about the past and what happened, and how these things shook out, which wasn't for our greater good, or we still be together, that kind of thing. But I want to tell you that this regret, don't let it cage you, okay? Let it be something that you look at now as a lesson, okay? And sometimes for us guys, the lesson is the blessing, okay? Sometimes you don't find out that it takes a little time between the lesson and the blessing to realize what happened. But know that you want it to be a minor part of your story, because you've got all this great energy here. You've got all these great cards that signify how you have really worked on yourself. You're ready for new beginnings, and you're ready to catch the bag one more time. Let that be the things that you take away from this reading. Although this is a love reading, and your King of Cups is coming, know that you are already the total package. And even if for some reason he never shows up and the energy changes for you later on, that still does not negate all these great cards on the table. 2 aces, the High Priestess, the Empress, the 8 of Pentacles. I mean, you've got some really powerful energy here on the table. So don't let that part pass you by, that you have got some really solid energy here. You're a high vibrational person that has done a lot of work on yourself, and know that the right person is going to come along who will appreciate you and see you for the high vibrational person that you have worked yourself up to be, because you've done a lot of work on yourself. And somebody that comes into your life as a potential for a partner is going to understand that about you. They're going to understand that you have worked a lot on yourself, that you are the Empress, that you are the High Priestess, that you are the total package, which is what they've been looking for. And there might be a time when this person might be a little doubtful of you, because they won't believe that they've been able to find the person that they've been looking for all this time. And I'm getting to that for some of you, this will not be a romantic relationship. This will be a friend. Somebody who, I just heard, friend for life. Okay, so for some of you, this will be a very important friendship that comes along, and the person who is giving the friend material is going to really be impressed with you, who you are, how you got there. The two of you, whether it's a partner or a friend, will talk about how you got to be the high vibrational being that you are today, how you worked on yourself, how you what your journey was of how you worked on yourself. And I think that really what's going to happen is that anybody who's meeting you as the Empress, the High Priestess, ready for some new beginnings, people know that because you're such a high vibrational being, that you can bring your energy brings a lot of material wealth. Okay, material wealth. I'm not talking spiritual wealth. I'm talking material wealth. They know that you bring this for everyone who is in your life in a positive position and someone that you really care about. So people around you know that they receive their blessings simply because you are in their life. And as long as they treat you well, because you are the Empress, and treat you well, because if they don't, the High Priestess will know very quickly that you're full of shit. Okay, so you've got to come, when you come to the Empress and the High Priestess, you need to come correct, because if your heart and your life isn't in the right place because of this high vibrational energy of the High Priestess, they're already gonna know. Okay, so you will not last very long in the face of an Empress and a High Priestess who has worked on herself with these 8 of Pentacles, that they're gonna already know what you're about when you're coming. But I think you're going to meet the person romantically that is looking for you. Okay, I think you have an idea of what kind of person you're looking for, what those requirements are, but I don't think it's do or die. I don't think these are things that you expect someone else to be the total package that you are. Okay, because that you weren't always the total package. But I think this person that you're going to meet has some very specific requirements on who they want to be a friend, who they want to be a romantic partner. And this person has just gone all in on, I'm going to find this particular person, or it's not going to be anything. Okay, and this doesn't mean that this person is, will not go into other relationships, but he or she is looking for something that's stable, something that's high vibrational, and they're looking for someone they want to marry. Okay? So this person is looking for someone they want to marry. As the Empress High Priestess, I don't think that's a requirement for you. I don't think your list of a good partner is as strict as this person's list is. But I definitely think you want someone who is genuine, who comes to you correctly. And the reason that so many things haven't worked out in the past is because this High Priestess energy has helped you come to know that these other things that didn't work out were just not for you. Okay? No matter how much they seem to be, and no matter how much time you had put into these relationships, it just wasn't for you. And that has caused you some regret, and some disappointment. And that's what comes to mind for you sometimes. But I would say, as best as you can, try to minimize that, because you don't want this little bit of negative energy in this reading a couple of cards that have a little bit of negative energy, but you don't want that energy to become more prominent because you're focusing on it so much. Focus on what's ahead of you. You're a different person than you were. You're an Empress. You're a High Priestess. All of that because you have worked on yourself. Okay? So this is some really good energy. Don't let that slide. I mean, really, don't let that slide away from you. And you've got the card of new beginnings and the Ace of Pentacles as well. There is more to come for you. So keep hope alive, and know that someone's coming for you, and you're gonna fit all the things that they tick off their list. Okay? You're gonna be all those things that they have been looking for, and they're gonna think that this can't be true, But over time, they will know that you are who you say you are, and if a king is gonna come at an empress, he's gonna have to level up. So this person is gonna get that impression that they may be good, but until they met the empress, they didn't know that they weren't good enough yet. Okay? So you're going to inspire this person to be better, be a better version of themselves that is more compatible for an Empress and High Priestess. So he's going to have to level up quite a bit from where he is. But I get the feeling that this is something that this person is going to welcome doing. They're going to want to do whatever it is you need them to do because they can't believe they have met such an incredible person, you. All right. So thank you, everybody, for sticking with me throughout this love reading. I didn't know it was going to be a love reading at first, but keep presenting your best self. Keep being who you are. And in a romantic relationship, in a friendship, the right person is going to present themselves to you. And what's important is not only that another high vibrational being is coming for you, it doesn't mean that they can't be the emperor for you, or they can't be the high priest for you. I think for this person, because you have worked so much on yourself, I think this person is going to spiritually develop. They're going to go on their spiritual journey, and they are going to be a better person than they thought they could be or here needed to be. Okay? So when you come to the Empress, you're going to have to come correct. And I think that is what this King of Cups is going to learn, is that they need to be better in order to keep the Empress High Priestess. And because you're the High Priestess too, you're not playing no games. You're not. He's going to have to come correct. And if he's not, then the new beginning is not going to be with this person. Okay? So the person that, and I'm getting here too, that this person may present to you in a way that you don't initially recognize this as your person, or that you are his person, okay? So I get the feeling that early on, even after the two of you have formally met, it may take you some time to take this person seriously. And because you've had so many disappointments in the past, things that didn't work out, I think that you're going to be keeping that in mind as you continue to evaluate whether this person is your person. He's gonna know you're his person before you know he's your person, okay? So give it a shot. You've got this high priestess energy where you can tap into situations and tap into the energy of relationships, whether they be romantic, friends, family. But with this energy, I think that you need to rely on it even more to screen the people that you are coming across, the people that you're dating, the people that are potential friends, the family members that may not be on the up and up, okay? This energy, this high priestess energy, because remember, the high priestess says a lot less than she knows. So you could be evaluating people and they don't even know they're being evaluated because you're the high priestess. Okay, so let this great energy move you towards your future and really minimize the disappointments. Okay, don't hang on to that kind of stuff because you don't want it to get in the way of all this really wonderful energy that's on the table for you, because you've definitely worked a lot on yourself. And don't let that go to waste, and don't feel like you have to step away from your greatness in order to attract someone that isn't worth you. Okay? And this person that you're going to meet, they're going to know that you're worth it, because like I said, they never thought they would meet somebody that ticked off all their boxes of what they wanted in a relationship. But remember that, this is, you're the empress and this person's a king. So they're going to have to come up on their vibration quite a bit in order to be who you deserve. Okay, there's a starting point for this person, but the end point to be with you is them knowing that they have to be a better or a higher vibrational being in order to match the energy of the empress. Okay, because they're a little bit, when you come together with this person, it's going to seem a bit like a mismatch, and you may not understand that the mismatch is a spiritual development mismatch. Okay, so but this person's going to be willing to do the work. Okay, they're going to be willing to do the work in order to lift their vibration even further. Okay, so thank you all. I think that's all I've got to say today. I wish you well, and I hope this is the reading for all of you out there who can channel that high priestess energy as an empress, and who have worked on yourselves. And relationships are often rewards for how much we've worked on ourselves. It's people coming to us that match our energy more closely. Okay, so thank you all for sticking with the reading. Again, Intuitive Air. Check out my merch that is listed in the description box below, and take care. I'm pulling for you on this end. I want all of you to have this type of positive energy available to you, so that you are getting what you deserve. All right, everybody. Thank you. Take care, and I'll see you again another time.